Global displacement is at an all-time high right now due to violence, climate change, oppression, and many more acts that have forced millions of people from their homes. And in just the last 2 years, crises in Afghanistan, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, the Ukraine, and elsewhere have put millions of people out of their lives in limbo and fleeing their home countries. World Refugee Day is an international day designated by the United Nations to honor refugees around the globe. It falls each year on June 20th, today, and celebrates the strength and courage of people who have been forced to flee their homes. In 2023 World Refugee Day, the theme is Hope Away from Home, a world where refugees are always included. And so today is a day that we build empathy and understanding for the plight of refugees in our communities, and we also recognize the work of those who are here in our community to welcome refugees and help them resettle here. And with that, I will turn over to my colleague, Councilmember Jawando.
Thank you, Councilmember Stewart, and it's great to join you for this proclamation and to have some of our community members who are helping out with this effort. I'm glad you mentioned the theme. I wanted to read the quote from the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, who says, "Refugees represent the very best of the human spirit. They need and deserve support and solidarity, not closed borders and pushbacks." I couldn't agree more. And I think this theme today, Hope Away from Home, is really appropriate. Many have heard me tell my story that my father came to this country on the heels of the Biafran Civil War, which was a bloody civil war, along with the Vietnam War, one of the first wars to be televised in real time, where people saw starving children in the East, and over 2 million people died. Over 1 million were displaced internally into other countries in Africa, and that was the context in which my father sought to come to this country and found a home in Langley Park, and eventually, but by way of Kansas. And you know, I often think about, when I read that quote, it made me think about how many things had to go right for him to make it here, and for so many other people's families to make it here, and how many things could have gone wrong, who could have been denied, why the policies we have matter, why we have to have compassion and empathy for those who are seeking help and fleeing violence or religious persecution or sexual orientation. Go down the list of reasons people are displaced and become refugees. And I think America at its best is one that opens its doors and welcomes people. And Montgomery County, as its best, is a community that does that. And the organizations represented behind us, and certainly many others, are representative of that. And so it's appropriate that today we celebrate World Refugee Day and commit to ourselves that we're going to continue that tradition of helping those who need help. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Jawando. And now we will hear from the Executive Director of Identity, Diego, if you want to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Working with refugees is not easy, but Montgomery County Council and the County Executive do make it a lot easier. As stewards of the values of Montgomery County as a welcoming county, help a lot, and you believe that refugees can become tremendous assets to the county makes all the difference. So thanks you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the work of Identity. And now we have a representative from the African Immigrant Caucus. Fatmata, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much, Councilmember Stewart and Councilmember Jawando. So I'm here to represent the African Immigrant Caucus. It's an organization that was started back in 2015, and the organization was basically created to provide and give power, political and civic power, to the African immigrant community here in the region. So I'm also an immigration attorney who has worked with the refugee population for many years. I'm an African immigrant who came here at the age of 11, so I understand the struggles that this community has faced and continues to face. Wonderfully, Montgomery County is one of the rare places where people can come and feel safe, and we're very appreciative of that fact. I'm also part of a coalition called ALEF, which was started by the African Communities Together organization, which is working very hard to address the refugee issues at the border and address refugee issues of people coming into the United States. These efforts are being done by organizations that on a continuous basis are working very hard, depending on themselves and funds from themselves. And they need support. We want to thank you and thank the county council and the county itself for providing the support that is needed. So thank you and have a good day.
Wonderful. And now we'll hear from Alex from CASA, who brought a bunch of folks. Alex, if you want to say a few words.
Thank you. First, we want to thank the County Council for their recent proclamation honoring our organization's work with the refugee community. Receiving this proclamation highlights the importance of fostering an environment where we can continue to impact the lives of refugees positively. Observing World Refugee Day reminds us of our ongoing responsibility as one of the county's most diverse in the country to maintain and continue investing resources necessary to ensure the well-being and integration of refugees within our community. As we move forward, let us remain committed to creating an inclusive environment that provides access to education, healthcare, employment opportunities, and social programs for refugees. And let us continue to advocate for policies that protect the rights and dignities, enabling them to rebuild their lives here in Montgomery County and contribute to our society for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all your work. And now we can read the proclamation. All right, I'll start. Whereas on December 4th, 2000, the United Nations General Assembly passed Resolution 5576 to observe World Refugee Day starting in June 2001, with the first occurrence being on the 50th anniversary of the 1951 Convention relating to the status of refugees. And
whereas many refugees find themselves living in camps until they are resettled, some of which are dangerous or not well equipped for long-term living. Refugees don't always have a say in which country they are ultimately relocated, and it can take years for them to find a new home. And
whereas World Refugee Day honors the strength and courage of refugees and encourages public awareness and support of the refugees who have had to flee their homeland because of conflict, violence, persecution, or natural disaster. And
whereas by the end of 2022, more than 100 million people were forcibly displaced globally. For the millions of refugees forcibly displaced each year, fleeing is the first step in a long and difficult journey to finding safety. And
whereas World Refugee Day shines a light on the rights, needs, and dreams of refugees, helping to mobilize political will and resources so refugees can not only survive but also thrive, as it is important to protect and improve the lives of refugees every single day. And
whereas Montgomery County stands as a welcoming and inclusive community that acknowledges the social, cultural, religious, and economic contributions refugees make to our community. And
whereas on this day, we recognize the people of all ages who have had to leave their native home, community, and their possessions, fleeing to Montgomery County in search of a safe haven, also deserve protection and have the right to be safe. Now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby recognizes June 20th, 2023 as World Refugee Day in Montgomery County and recognizes the contributions of all those who help to give refugees more hope and more opportunities while they are away from their native home. This is presented this day, this 20th day of June in the year 2023 by myself, Councilmember Jawando, and the County Council. Thank you very much.